The morning at NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain Complex began like any other Tuesday. Lieutenant Colonel Jake Martinez sipped his coffee, eyes flickering across a sea of data from satellites tracking space debris, solar flares, and cosmic anomalies. For 15 years, his duty had been monotonous, with the occasional rogue asteroid or meteor storm offering brief excitement. That calm was shattered at precisely 0947 Mountain Time. The deep space sensors registered something unprecedented, a swarm of massive objects barreling toward Earth at impossible speeds. At first, Jake dismissed it as a computer glitch, but a second, then a third diagnostic confirmed the horrifying truth. Thousands of ships, each the size of a football stadium, closing in. "Sir, you need to see this," Jake called out, his voice tight with unease. Colonel Amy Roberts rushed over, a veteran of 20 years in space defense. Even she paled at the readings. The objects were decelerating as they neared the solar system, a clear sign of intelligent control. "How many?" she asked, though she already feared the answer. "Computer estimates. 50,000 individual craft." A cold dread filled the room. Amy picked up the red secure line, and within minutes, the call reached Defense Secretary Tom Bradley, who was in the White House dining room with President Lisa Murphy. As the details unfolded, President Murphy closed her eyes, the weight of imminent annihilation pressing on her. "How long do we have?" she asked. 6 hours, maybe less." Murphy gave the order no leader wants to issue. "Send the alert to all world leaders. Emergency session in 2 hours. We're facing a possible planetary invasion." Around the globe, nations descended into chaos. Leaders abandoned meetings, bunkers sealed, and emergency protocols activated. The skies filled with evacuation transports and news reports of approaching lights. But humanity's greatest defense wasn't known to the public. Deep within black-budget programs, powerful systems and weapons decades ahead of public knowledge began to stir. In orbit around the planet, Admiral Zexer of the Vorthan Empire observed Earth. To him, it was another primitive world, a lone moon, rudimentary satellites, chemical rockets. Child's play. The Voran Empire had crushed 347 civilizations before breakfast. This would be no different. "Deploy standard blockade formation," Zexer commanded, his fleet assembling into a suffocating net around Earth. Then he broadcast the demand for surrender across all human communications, televisions, radios, phones, every device on the planet. His alien visage declared Earth's fate, surrender or extinction. Panic spread like wildfire. Cities erupted into riots. Highways choked with desperate civilians. But in secret military facilities, something else happened. At MIT, Dr. Elizabeth Kane stared in disbelief at energy readings from the alien fleet. "It doesn't make sense," she whispered. "The Vorthan tech was advanced, but only marginally. Its fusion drives were crude compared to what secret Earth labs had already surpassed. We have better weapons in prototypes than what they're fielding," she told her assistant. In an underground Pentagon bunker, Colonel Ryan Davis addressed a room of nameless, off-the-books officers. Project Prometheus is greenlit. 15 years of hidden work on technologies that defied conventional physics, gravity negation, temporal manipulation, and dimensional warping. Now it was time. As the hour of surrender passed with no response, Zexer ordered a show of force. Plasma cannons charged across his vast fleet, preparing to scorch Earth's major cities. On the ISS, Captain Steve Johnson watched in horror as the ships glowed with lethal intent. "This is ISS, weapons charging. They're targeting Earth." Control's calm response was baffling. "Maintain observation. Do not be alarmed." Then the Vorans fired. 50,000 plasma bolts streaked toward Earth and disappeared. The weapons simply ceased to exist upon contact with Earth's upper atmosphere. No explosions, no damage. In a secret command center 3 miles underground, Commander Lisa Turner monitored the tactical display. Quantum displacement barriers holding. Her technician reported. All energy attacks had been phased into alternate dimensions. Zexer's greatest mistake wasn't attacking Earth. It was assuming Earth was ever vulnerable. Deploy the fleet, Lisa ordered. Across the solar system, reality bent. From nowhere, 500 dark, impossibly sleek vessels materialized. Not moved appeared. The United Earth Space Force had been waiting. Captain Michelle Grant aboard the U.S. Dominion addressed Zexer directly. "You have threatened our world. We decline." Zexer laughed. "You are outnumbered 100 to 1. Grant's cold reply. "You've made 2 mistakes. 1. Thinking numbers matter when faced with superior technology. 2. Believing this is all we have." Zexer scanners reeled at impossible energy readings. The Vorans opened fire. The human fleet didn't dodge. Probability drives made every enemy shot miss, while every human shot struck. In seconds, human ships wielded weapons beyond comprehension. Reality erasers that deleted ships from existence. Temporal disruptors aging vessels to dust in milliseconds. Gravity wells that collapsed entire squadrons. Quantum viruses hijacking enemy ships, turning them on each other. Matter converters transforming battleships into harmless gases. In 4 minutes and 37 seconds, the greatest invasion fleet in galactic history was reduced to debris. 0 human casualties. A corridor opened. Zexer's 17 surviving ships limped away. Back in the Voran capital, Emperor Thaxmore received the survivors. "Explain this failure," he thundered. Zexer's broken voice recounted the unimaginable defeat of humans manipulating reality itself, destroying 50,000 ships in minutes, and granting a single ultimatum. Earth is under human protection. Aggression will not be tolerated. The galaxy shuddered. Rebellions erupted. Conquered worlds rose up. Merchants whispered of the primitive world that destroyed an empire. For centuries, Earth had watched in secret, preparing. They weren't newcomers to the galactic stage. They were its silent architects. Project Prometheus wasn't just a defensive program. It was a plan for a new galactic order. At the United Nations, President Lisa Murphy addressed the world. "We can no longer hide while the galaxy suffers. It's time for humanity to rise, not as conquerors, but as guardians. No longer the hunted. We are the protectors." Children looked at the stars, no longer as distant mysteries, but as humanity's rightful domain. On the rebel world of Zafor, leaders whispered, "The humans did it. The empire is crumbling." And across the galaxy, those who once ruled by fear now feared the once primitive species who had rewritten the laws of the universe. The galaxy's map was redrawn, not with new conquests, but new alliances. Humanity had not just survived, they had become legend. And somewhere in the blackness between stars, new threats stirred. Unaware that Earth was no longer a vulnerable planet, it was now the capital of the most formidable power in galactic history.